Thank you for staying with the Hallowed Chambers. Now joining us is Honorable Inuwa Garba, member representing Yamal 2 Deba Federal Constituency of Gombe State. It's good to have you on the program, Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am.
The defections from the PDP seems relentless, a steady exodus that's shrinking the party's ranks. What exactly is driving so many of your members away?
Thank you very much for this question. I think some of us politicians are like chameleon. We do change at any time, looking at the scenario or the body language of the constituents, or some based on their own personal interests, some based on the request by their electorates. All I agree and understand is political is always local. Wherever you are, whatever you do, sometimes you have control over what you can do. Sometimes what you can do is controlled by the scenario at that point. And it's not a new thing, people defecting from one party to another based on their own situation. So, like we always see in an African political context, people do take this kind of decisions. It's not new, but that's not to say where they go, they have upper hand, or where they live, they have nothing. That all that belongs to Almighty God, and I can't talk for them. I can only talk for myself. As I'm talking to you, I'm currently in PDP, and I'm manning the seat of PDP, and by good grace, I will see what I can do, unless if it is beyond my power. It's all belong to God, but I will continue to do the right thing I'm supposed to.
Section 68, subsection 1G of the Constitution clearly spells out the conditions for defection, and yet time and time again we see those rules ignored. Has the law simply lost its bite, or is politics now above the Constitution?
The position of the minority leader is a constitutional provision, and it is in the House standing rules, which was spelled out the responsibilities, the mandate of the minority leader and minority members, which is not new. We all know what their responsibilities are, is to be part of the checks and balances in the chambers and even outside the chamber, and even checking the excesses of the government of the day, which is the ruling party. So that is exactly what we are trying our best to do, despite the fact that our number is declining, and that's not to say our role is not there. Our role is there. We continue to do what is our mandate. We continue to do what is right. We continue to do what is, constitutionally, our own responsibility.
There are strong indications that even more defections are looming ahead of the 2027 elections. How prepared is the PDP to withstand what could become a political earthquake?
By good grace, for now, no one can tell, because completely the political scenario is confused. Those that are jumping into APC are not jumping because of the fact that they are comfortable with what is happening in APC. Those that are remaining in the opposition, they are not maintaining their status quo because they are comfortable with what is happening in the party. The general political scenario in Nigeria, it is in a serious problems, because in a political, in a democratic governance, where you see agitations, where you see a lot of complaints, where you see a lot of economic hardship, where you see lack of proper infrastructural development, where you see a lot of insecurity, where you see a lot of vices that are not in tandem with the expectation of the general populace who are the electorate, no one can really say for now. Like I'm saying, some of the parties they finish their own congresses, talk less of, convey other party activities. Until we finish all that, to say something now, I don't think if it is right. The number of defections does not mean that that's what will be determined in the general elections.
Some members of your party blame President Tinubu and the ruling APC for masterminding this mass exodus. Do you share that view, or is the problem deeper within the PDP itself?
Well, I blame the entire system. The entire system, both the PDP itself, the APC itself, and the government in power, because it's not only PDP's problem. All other opposition, they have the same type of problems which emanated from in one way or the other, the process and procedure of that kind of problem were the same. So the government in power has a role to play in order to make the democratic governance or democratic system more credible to the expectation of the international, political space. And that is to say that will create and accommodate the Nigerian interests, be it economically, politically, and otherwise, in the international fora, so that investors can have that peace of mind to come and invest in your country, because they know that the democratic system has its own, there's a very, good measure of credibility. And all other interests that may come from both in and outside can be able to accommodate, the scenario in the country. But in a situation where you find out that all these things are not credible enough to accommodate the interests of those even inside the country, talking of those that are outside that are coming to put in their money or their interest, then there's a big problem.
All right, sir. Now, let's talk about your party in your state. How formidable is the PDP in Gombe State?
We thank God. PDP is still very strong in Gombe State, united and formidable, because you can see we are 6 of us as members of the House of Representatives. We still have 5 of us intact in PDP, while we have 1 in APC. Out of the 3 senators, we have 2 senators in PDP, 1 is in APC. And we are all united, and we are trying our best to see how we can consolidate so that we can face the 2027 general elections.
Let's turn to the electoral reforms bill, particularly the proposal to hold elections 6 months before the end of tenure. Do you see this as a step forward for democracy, or just another political experiment?
You see, there are gaps. There are gaps that the proposal by both individual, stakeholders from all and sundry are bringing. And that is just a proposal. It has not been passed, so you can't say that it has stand. It is a proposal, and we are working on it. I'm a member of the Electoral Matters Committee. We are discussing with all the stakeholders to see how we can come up with something that will be accepted, something that will be more credible and more transparent, so that we have a hitch-free elections. And on the issue you said, you see the gap from the primaries to elections. It's a very long period of time, so it creates a lot of gap, in the process. We are trying to see how it can be reduced, so that it cannot be so hectic that all the system will not be overstretched.
Supporters of the bill argue that the 6 months window will allow all court cases to be settled before swearing in. Now, do you believe that's a strong enough justification, or are there hidden motives at play?
Yes, it's very important. You can see that in that area, you can see somebody who will be sworn into the office after some 1, 2, 3 months, court judgment will force him to vacate, and that is another problem. Then elections will be conducted to bring another person. Even that person, if he comes in, somebody may take him to court. You can see there's long queue of court, activities. So we think if all court cases will be concluded before even swearing in somebody into office, that will be better. We save money, we save time, and we save the process from having this kind of interruptions.
That is all on the program this week. You can watch this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Also, follow us on all our social media platforms to get breaking news and updates from Nigeria and across the world. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adewi. See you next time.